Was Navy Petty Officer Allyjah Rivera's murder a result of a Navy love triangle? This is what I'm getting based on information provided by her murderer, Darian Rob's supporters, as well as Allyjah's family. Allyjah and Darian were in a committed relationship. They were living together. She moved in at the beginning of March, and they were already discussing plans for the future of having children together. Allegedly, Darian Rob's ex-wife, Michelle Rob, who is also the mother of his 2 kids and a Navy veteran, did not like this relationship. According to Allyjah's friends, Michelle was stalking and harassing Allyjah. On Tuesday at 4:20 in the morning, police were called to the home that Darian and Allyjah shared together, where Allyjah was suffering from a gunshot wound. Allyjah was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. Darian claims this was an act of self-defense, and he is currently being held on charges of voluntary manslaughter. On Tuesday, he will go before the court and try to request bond to get out of jail. Here's where it gets weird. Allyjah was on duty the night before her murder. And for those of you who don't understand how Navy duty works, when you're on duty, you are expected to stay on the ship for a full 24 hours. You cannot leave and you cannot go home. However, Allyjah got word that Darian's ex, Michelle, was in the home and that he was cheating on her. And so she found an excuse to get off the ship and went home, where she caught, allegedly, Michelle and Darian together. I will add that the children of the 2 were also allegedly in the home. A domestic dispute ensued, and Allyjah is no longer with us as a result. One burning question I have is, where did Michelle go? Because if she was at the home when Allyjah got there, but then she wasn't at the home when police arrived, when did she leave? Was it before or after Allyjah was murdered? Inquiring minds might ask, have the police checked the gun for Michelle's fingerprints? I'm just asking the question because this seems to be a crime of passion. I shared parts of Allyjah's story with you earlier this week, and as expected, Darian's friends and shipmates have already began to victim blame. They have already come out in force, blaming Allyjah for her own murder. They're trying to paint Allyjah, who is no longer here to speak on behalf of herself, whose voice was robbed from her, as the abuser. Her family says it was the opposite, and that there were times where Darian would physically restrain Allyjah as well as threaten suicide if she tried to break up with him. Because Michelle was somehow involved and has close access to all of Darian's friends, family, and shipmates, Darian's side of the story has gotten out there, and people are starting to believe Darian's side of the story. But here's the thing, Allyjah's voice has been robbed from her. She has no one speaking on her behalf. I've even gotten reports that on the ship, people who are supporting Allyjah and trying to spread Allyjah's truth are being counseled and told to stay quiet. However, a couple days ago, people in Darian's work center were mass commenting on my post during the workday, so I know this had to have been happening from the ship on TikTok. Allyjah's friends and family are begging for us to help elevate her voice. Please share this and help Allyjah's family fight for justice. This should never have happened.